Hey, one and all, welcome to the Hexagon Tabletop Role-Playing Games. I'm your Dungeon Master today, Brent, and with me I have my lovely players who are each going to introduce themselves without any odd or awkward pauses.
All right, well, I guess that's the segue into my introduction. So my name is Simon, and I play Wilm Fair. Wilm Fair is our resident bird boy, and Wilm keeps a little garden. A little fact about him that by his sleeping area that he tends to, and it kind of reminds him of home all those years ago in the past before all this happened.
That's sweet.
Wow. Who's in the garden?
Yep, a mini garden.
You got a little dog in the garden.
Oh, I'm sure it's the drill hound.
Yeah. Fertilizes it.
I'm sure.
All right, I'm next on the list, but I just want to make sure the DM doesn't want to add anything or has anything to say about that before I move on.
For the mini garden, I'd love to know what was in it in more detail.
Well, that kind of depends on you in a sense, as to what seeds that Wilm was able to find.
Name
He's
five
kind of
seeds.
he's kind of gone around picking up random plants and flowers and seen what's sprouted. So most likely the more hardier stuff has been able to sprout, since he's not always back at his little sleeping area in the community. So he waters it when he can, but it's something that's not habitual, as it's a bit far in between with all his missions out.
Roll me a D100. That's what I want.
D100.
And for every 20% you get a good seed.
For every what?
For every 20% you get a good seed.
I got 56.
Hey, 56. We'll round up. So you get 3 good seeds and 2 bad seeds. So I think you have a flower, you have what looks like could be a pepper, and you have what looks like could be some sort of a berry, and then you have what looks like a nettle, and then you have what looks like truly just a weed because it immediately fluffed up and then sprouted a bunch of seeds after.
All right.
What you're doing is the most primo DM thing I've ever seen. It's just
primo DM thing. It's here's a whole garden.
Here's a list of things. They're vague, but we'll go in more detail another time, maybe.
That's there.
Ever ask about them again? I will have lots of detail.
Oh yeah,
incredible.
All right. I'm Peter. I'm playing Tomas, the tough Tomas, and today I'm going to expand on a fact from a previous session, because I feel like in game time there's been quite a bit of time that's passed since the establishment that the Decafouts like to Tarzan their way across the zip lines, and over the last few months or however much time since the lines were put up, the 3 leaders of the Decafouts, Wilga, Kalen, and Tomas, do some high-speed races with one another, testing to see who's the fastest. And Wilga is undefeated. She's undefeated. Kalen and Tomas cannot beat her for the life of them. And she has the most experience, too. She's always using them. But between Kalen and Tomas, they also kind of have their own one-on-one that they do because they can't beat Wilga. And they are currently they're pretty much always tied, but the last race Tomas won, so now Kalen is 1 behind.
All right, Kalen's 1 behind. I think you just see one time when you're racing, there's like a strange pale face in the foliage, and you're just like, whoa, and it's like Oberon just watching you guys race. Fades back into the bush.
Oh god. Yeah, and then now at the present, I realize, oh, okay, I'm understanding him a little bit better now.
Incredible. And then last but certainly not least,
it's my turn. It's my turn. Hello everyone, I am Dee, and I'm playing the wonderfully colorful intergalactic angel. And as a fact of the day, our favorite season is spring, and I don't have a better fact than that. But the spring mostly due to the whole idea of how incredibly colorful it gets. The world's full of life, and at a time like this, where the world is very uncertain and spooky, I think she's missing the springtime a little bit. So.
yeah. I mean, as you guys are making your way towards Valeth, I did say that this forest had all the seasons mixed and kind of like in these permanent zones here. And I think as you start to get closer, you get to experience a little bit of that permanent springtime as we walk away from where those sprites, those water sprites were that were guarding the tree. In spring, would you say that Quinn is equally a fan of like new buds and flowering as with like mud?
yeah, no, she's perfectly fine. She's all good. But I guess she would be down to help with the mini garden if she ever found out about it, just to plant in some flowers and then run off. So she wouldn't mind getting her hands dirty with some dirt, if that's what you were trying to hint at.
Okay. Yeah, writing down loves mud.
Well, she was a bug, so I feel like maybe she carried a little bit of that bug nature.
Maybe, yeah. Transforming just kind of gives you different different experiences and therefore perspective. And we're going to revisit that a lot in this campaign. All my players introduced. We can go back to the script. So make sure to say hi if you're in chat, and if you're new, hit the follow button. You can find us on all the socials at TheHexagonTTRPG. Without further ado, let's get into playing. I did mention that we were walking away from some water sprites, but I think just as a little recap from last time, since it was 2 weeks ago for us, but maybe not for somebody who's tuning in. I have here my sessions. Last time on Dimensionauts Progenitors, we met little Timmy Chicken. Little Timmy Chicken Little. He had a little cockatrice, a magically tamed cockatrice. It was full of hate. And looked delicious. Let's be real. And he was starting to cultivate some chickens and eggs. But the party, after encountering this young boy, and I think watching the first signs of their civilization, maybe just a little start to grow around them. You then tried to cross a ravine with a tree that was spanning the length, but it was guarded by water sprites. And as you guys rushed across this tree and kind of initially tried not to make a deal with them, you realize that there's like 20 or 40 of them. I forget what I said, but it was a whole lot of them that kind of ganged up and made this really tough. But you're able to get to the other side safe and sound. Only Tomas and the spider, I think, frozen solid for a brief amount of time. And a deal was struck where you could bring in perpetuity eggs as an offering.
I do remember the eggs, the most important part.
Yeah, almost fell in the river. Not good.
But I think we'll pick up there. So you guys are fully on the other side of this tree. Sprites are content for now with the small gifts that they've been given, and basically the path, before you is fairly open to Valeth. The closer that you get to him in the forest, again, it's like that first time when you guys were traversing through the woods and all was quiet, and you get these like huge trees all around you, towering up above, and like space seems to stretch a little bit here, and basically like the deepest parts of the forest are magical and full of I think a like wild type of magic, that seems to be what's warping things and changing them a little bit, where like the wilderness is just bigger and wilder, and kind of wrapped around itself here. But as you proceed forward, I think all of you, being progenitors, being these magical kind of beings, you can notice which way is deeper, right? Which way is deeper into the wild nature, the density of magic. And so it's fairly easy for you all to again pick up that thread and find your way towards the middle of the forest. Is there anything that you guys want to be doing on the way there? Anything you want to be like looking out for in the forest? Otherwise, we will arrive basically on Valeth's doorstep.
So we were around Valeth when we started noticing the that weird, like those weird silent zones, right?
Yes, way back when.
Are they still around?
The silent zones are no longer here.
Okay. I guess we'll still kind of keep an eye out for any potential voidlings that might be in the area. I figured they might be cleared out already this close to Valeth, but just in case. They like to feed on his magic before, so there might be some that have tried to sneak back close.
You look around and you find traces of like what seem like maybe big bugs having gone through the underbrush. It's not like it was recent or anything. I think it's like you just noticed like there's a little bit of like bark and plants that were eaten over here, and like, oh, there's like this looks like maybe it could be bug poop. And other like small disturbances here and there. And it's not like you see a voidling, but I think your hunch is right on the money. Like they would probably be where the magic is densest and thickest, and they already, I think laid claim to the center of the forest. And again, there's a creeping sense of urgency of like, this is maybe not the most urgent thing right this moment, but if we leave this for too long of a time, right, eventually the forest will go back into the state into which you found it.
So just continue keeping an eye out for it, and if anything interesting that might be able to be used as a barter for those water spirits on the way back, he'll pick that up too.
Yeah, perfect. Roll me an intellect check if you'd like. Like, what do you think a spirit would like?
That's a good question, because they apparently like eggs, but I don't know what else. Sorry, yes.
I have an idea. What if they like tea, just like the other fade? Maybe I look around for some herbs that could be used in a quick tea. Because then it would be a cheap alternative with very few ingredients needed. Fire, water, and herbs. We got fire from you. We got, I guess, we gotta find a container to make the tea in, but we'll figure something out.
Fair enough. I got 13.
Great. With a 13, and I think with a little bit of help from Quinn, you look around. Definitely find like a tea plant. Like there's like something fairly nearby. On that intellect roll too, you think like, oh, they accepted an egg. Tea would probably work.
All right, I'll gather a tuft of tea.
Right.
And I point them out. It's like, oh, that one should work. I can go and pick it up.
If you say so. Just in case, they suddenly are vegan or something when we get back.
I think May chuckles at that. She goes, I don't think so. And yeah, just to remind everybody, we do have Mei Lin with us, and we also have Johnny, who's in the background, riding a spider, fully shirted.
What?
Where did he get the shirt from?
Yeah, what?
He has a lot of extra shirts.
Yeah, and I think too, like everyone, we always say like, oh, you're clothed or whatever, but I do want to remind everyone that we are still in the early phases of the society. There's no fashion. Everything is functional. Like he has like a white spider silk shirt. It looks kind of grody and dirty a little bit because you live in a forest. All of your clothing is a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner.
I got even fancier clothes. So thanks.
Yes, you have a fancy clothes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have the idea that Johnny has probably ripped his shirt so many times.
Yeah.
That the Ottomans are probably sick and tired of having to like repair it for him, so he's had to learn how to do it himself. So you see like the difference of like them having like finally stitched the shirt back together, and then like his like very like erratic stitches like throughout the rest of the shirt. At a certain point,
patchy, like a patchwork of these like corrections, and then there's like really thick ones here and there that he's had to do.
Yeah,
100%.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you checked his pack, you would see a needle and thread tucked in there.
Yeah,
right. He's got to take it.
Yeah, he still has a couple of the shirts, but like they're all similarly used.
In fact, on a 5, as he's riding through the forest, Will, you look back towards John, as you see a small twig snag his shirt. Just a tiny little rip. And he does not notice. Right. But as this happens, you have this tea in hand and you make your way into this beautiful forest. A little bit of a muddy area with some spring flowers come up. And before you know it, you are at Valeth's doorstep, a huge, enormous, ginormous tree towering up into the middle of the forest. And the tree, the bark, this time around, coming to see Valeth, I think it's the first time you've come to see them in a long time. And it is much healthier looking than when last you came. I think when last you came, it was like The Legend of Zelda, when you see the great Deku tree, right, at the end of its life dying, the dead leaves almost like all around. And this is like Valeth's power has been renewed. He's able to use his magical power in the land again. And so a lot of that dead leaves and mulch and stuff that was collecting on the forest floor has been eaten away and transformed into nutrients for the forest and transformed into the magical energy that empowers everything. And you see a lush, beautiful forest here now, full of different types of flowers. And like, I think even like as you walk forward, there's like a hint of humidity. And you see almost like tropical looking, like how lush and crazy the plants are here. And all of you, I think I would like you to roll me an intellect check. And this is like magical in nature this time, as you like feel something in the air around you.
That's a nat 20.
Woo! Oh shit!
I got it.
That's a natural one.
Oh.
Quinn, can we get somewhere in the middle?
A 14, so it is quite in the
Wow.
middle-ish.
Incredible. On a nat 1, Tomas, I think you like breathe in deep and sneeze so hard. Like probably like the type of sneeze like Zell's like, ah! Just like you get kind of a little poke in the butt. Just lose the thread for a second. But the 14 for Quinn, this is a magical bloom. Everything in this glade would be like high value, like in terms of whether you used it for like a potion or a resource or equipment. Like everything here is like of the heart of the forest. Obviously so. On a natural 20, I think that Wilm, you look around and you think, oh, what if I planted this stuff in our camp? What if I propagated seeds from this kind of magic? Or like you have this idea of like, oh, this is here and it's alive, and it's not that I have to pick it. We can actually cultivate this kind of magic.
I feel like he would also be like, hey, well, do I have to ask permission first? Because like just with like all like the interactions with the Fae and everything, and the GBM, it's like always like there's some sort of procedure, or like
We could ask.
that's why I'm like he wouldn't do anything immediately without just to make sure that it's cool.
And so, but like, I think you have that thought of like, okay, this is, this is something we can do. Something.
I'd like to use this, but before I do, let me just make sure it's cool.
And as you think about that, you see the bark of this crazy huge tree, like basically like looks like a wall in front of you, rippling. And if you remember, inside the tree, there had been a bark-like doll that had been made by the parasite, with like the beginnings of like some sort of, I don't know, 3D printed like chitinous material or metal. That was the production of those bugs. This time you see coming out of the trunk faint golden light rippling like water of bark, and out from the trunk steps what looks like, I think in D&D terms would be a kind of dryad. There's like faint veins of like this like small like spider webs of like golden light inside of this really like a humanoid tree being, and little leaves sprouting as it like comes out of the trunk, and steps forward, and will kind of like, I think very gaily just like come up and then bow in front of all of you. Hello, I will speak for Valeth. I'm a dryad who is taking care of the bloom before you and area around here. I know that it can be difficult sometimes to speak with them.
Hello, my name's Wilton. How may we address you?
I am Tomas.
I'm Cutie.
Oh, we rarely address each other with names. Valeth is really the only thing here that quite needs it. Is there a term that you would use other than just dryad, or?
I mean, if that's all right with you, we can just use dryad, but it was really just what you prefer.
Yes, you can call me the envoy or some such thing, as I help speak for Valeth. I help to translate. And he kind of cocks his head for a moment, and it like, when he does that, it's like everything, like there's a little breeze that kind of like hits. He's just like, yes, Valeth has said that I could be like he said something along the lines of like small Valeth.
Someone's drag racing in your forest.
Yes, yes, the dragonfly.
The sound she makes when she's Tarzaning through the trees.
Oh no.
That's so good. Also related to you not having any name, what if you got the
Mini
plant you
V.
really like?
Oh,
You know, maybe oak or something, and we can just call you Oak. I don't know.
Oh,
well, I love this, and it like reaches down, like very like neutral features. It's not like it has a like a million boobs or any sort of groin or anything. It just like goes down and like grabs a flower, and like you can see like it like brings the flower up. But it's just that the stem of the flower just elongates.
Extends.
Like it doesn't pick it.
It doesn't
just
pick it. Yeah, okay.
It's this beautiful golden flower, and it smells horrible. It comes up and it's just like really stinky, like sweaty, and you can see that like there's like already there's like an insect that's like comes like its nectar on itself.
And it like dies. Oh, okay.
This one is so interesting. It's not native usually to the forest.
What is it
Oh.
called?
Wait.
leaf.
I'd like to call it the beautiful stink.
That is accurate as I'm holding my nose for the rest of the conversation.
Or the admire from afar.
Yep, yeah, I would like to stay a little bit further from that, and I back away just slightly. It's very pretty, though.
Is it?
You said it wasn't. It wasn't natural to this forest.
There's been basically bits of matter, bits of other organic things that have been infused with life and magic, and therefore we're able to all of a sudden grow. It could have been, it comes from the world itself, something, memories, echoes of times long past. In some ways, fragments of Valeth, the memory tree.
Okay, so still somewhat natural for it to happen as it's a feature of a memory tree, or like there's something that's very wrong and you're getting alien species.
Very
Is it a
natural.
parasite, or yeah, okay.
Can I
I
try
think
it?
all the things that come from this world are natural. You are natural.
But the voidlings, they're unnatural.
They don't come from this world, technically, I don't think.
Yeah, and you see it like darkens this being for a second. You say the voidlings, and it's like it like seems to shield itself, like the bark like closes up where all those veins are. Oh yes, the voidlings. And exposes a little less of that light, kind of like timidly opens it back up a bit. But you've all come to discuss something?
Well,
I sense it from this one. And he reaches over and it waggles its fingers at you, Tomas, and you can feel that little barky patch of skin kind of ripple a little bit.
What is this? Why have we come here?
do you not remember? We were on our way to the dragon thing, and we wanted to
the dragon.
pass by and make sure that it was all right, and that you get information potentially, and about the voidlings, about the dragon. See how Valeth was, because it's been a while.
That was mostly what I was worried about, is how he was doing. But also dragon, very much a dragon too. And I'm glad to see he's feeling healthier. At least looks like it. So
And you hear from coming around the tree, very healthy indeed. As
It's Bart.
I didn't forget, guys. It is Bart. I remembered this time.
There he is.
And
We
he
did not
comes
forget you.
padding around the far side of the tree. He's so far away. It's going to take him a couple of minutes at least to walk over this way.
You can project your voice really well.
It's magic.
That's awesome.
The Dryad, yes, I spoke to us of the creatures that had come to the edge of the forest. Vela sensed them and repelled them immediately therefrom.
Yes, the Mogwai.
Actually, as we just discussed, not this world. They are, I guess those would be aliens. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. We tried to get rid of as many as we could, but do keep an eye out.
The Dryad, you killed them?
They're not exactly.
For lack of a better word,
friendly.
yes.
My goodness.
Well,
We are protecting Bart's life in a way, so.
no, well, just as things in this forest kill and eat other things, and this is how life is. Things die, things kill, things survive.
How brutal. I think you can intuit like the Dryad is more like, oh gosh, there was killing and death at the borders of the forest. It's not so much that like you guys are like killers.
See, like plants are like some of the most savage things, choking each other out to get sunlight. All right, speaking of plants, would you mind if we cultivated some of these plants in the area that we've been residing?
That's such a good idea.
Yes, of course. That's quite all right as long as you take care of them.
They need more than water, I'm assuming. Question mark.
Oh. Maybe I could have some plant attendants come with you to explain
Yes,
this.
just crash course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How to transport them and reacquaint them, replant them.
Absolutely. And the Fae have already taken some from the bloom as well.
Fantastic. We'll do it on the way back as we are headed towards the northern part of the forest in an attempt to search for, what was it again? A dragonling, drake.
All of the
Thomas?
above.
All
Or
of
the
the
landworms.
landworms. Yes, that thing.
Yes, you are going to kill this as well?
It is more a contest between, I believe, Oberon and Tomas. You see, Oberon has bested this beast before, and he wants to see if Tomas is his equal. To do so, Tomas must beat and best this creature as well.
I wonder if the bloom woke it and seeks to consume and eat and store some of the magic away. The worms are long-lived, and they are, well, sort of magical sinks. They sequester it all the way inside themselves, and it lasts for a very long time. Bart finally gets here.
Is there any known weaknesses to these sorts of creature?
Well, I mean, I guess you You see the dryad like thinking like, how would a plant kill a
Yeah.
dragon?
It's not really a fighter.
The roots could grow into the, but usually they wake up if that happens.
Did you happen to see how Oberon bested it?
Oh, I haven't been alive nearly as long as Oberon.
Oh, well, then do you know how it happened?
Maybe.
I
I'm
haven't even
assuming it
spoken.
fell down in legend.
Legend.
Maybe if not you, maybe Violet would know.
The dryad like spins. And it's like, I am 3 months old. I'm so young. Tell me this legend.
Oh, well, I was kind of hoping that you might know it. I'm trying to find out more about it.
You should have asked him.
I feel like he's not one to sing his own praises.
And he might not
Really?
be as convinced if you know, he used the same trick on the Drake. Maybe.
Something tells me Oberon did not kill the Drake.
Oh no, he didn't. He told us that.
Only busted him once, I guess.
He fought it and then took a scale as a trophy. But that's all he did.
News to me.
Sorry, what?
I have news to me. I have no scales.
No, you have bark.
Just like Thomas does. And like kind of scratch his neck.
That feels good.
Bart's here to just, yeah. It gets very confusing talking to the dryads. Their concepts are a little foreign.
I think we're seeing that, yes. Alright, well, did you have any other further questions or statements for this lovely mini V dryad?
No, Mini V has been very helpful. I spoke to Valeth about the Mogwai that came, and Valeth told me of if tunnels. How do I? You seem like searching his mind of like, how do I kind of like rephrase like the basically the visions that that you guys got last time, like how can I like say this out loud. He's like, if roots are webs in the ground that connect the trees, the mogwai come from a similar root-like network, but that extends away not only from this forest but the land itself and into the sky. It's very abstract, but I definitely got the sense that there was more of their type of energy coming from across the sea. So I think that in time we can expect I think something coming from the empire that I came from.
I see. Alright, we have a network of bogies on their way. Doesn't sound too good.
Well, I think those things they're connected, but not connected. And then there was this book that Valeth basically asked me to remind you, and maybe he's like,
Yes, in the swampland. Yes.
There's something up with that book. It gave me the
Heebie-jeebies.
yes. Oh, that's a
Yes.
good word for it.
I like the word. It explains many things.
And you see Mini V kind of like put the stink flower a little bit near Bart and go, heebie jeebies. He's like, no, nope, that's different. And he walks away.
No, that is an assault on the senses.
Species.
Sure.
We must be sure to plant some of these ones.
We shall discuss it on the way back. I'm sure Olga will like a few.
Flower goes back down. The dryad bows to you all. If you have nothing left to ask, I shall join Valeth again, and I shall potentially go and tend to another area of the wood.
If you maybe could ask Valeth the right direction to head to find this landworm,
Oh,
that
north.
would be appreciated. Straight north. Okay.
Yes. When Valeth created this bubble, the directions match the poles of the world. No.
I see.
They match something about a map. It's
Got it.
fragmented.
All right. Well, north it is. Thank you. Yeah,
Mini V like very awkwardly just stands here and looks at you guys.
Yeah,
All right.
turn to Tomas and what you call it? Quinn. You're like, anything else? No. Let's go.
I guess so.
Yeah, you guys start to head out. You see May is with Johnny. They were just kind of like waiting for you guys to finish. And you see that she's like looking at like some like beetles and stuff like in the grass. Johnny is talking to what looks like a flower. But as you get a little bit closer, you realize that like that's kind of a glamour. It's actually a fae. And she's like this like cute little fae wearing like a a dress that is a flower, but is also kind of like seems like it could be a bit part of her. She's got these like two little antenna with like pollen at the end of them, and she's like giggling at everything he says.
Is it like a flower? Like he's crouching down to the ground, kind of like speaking down into the ground, or is it like
she came up to talk to him? She's like on a leaf,
Okay.
like of something, like a monstera.
So we're just seeing like a floating flower.
Yeah, basically. I was like, what? Like, is that flower coming from that plant? And I was like, oh no, it's not. So as you guys get up, you can hear her talking. She's like, you're so funny. You should come live with us, Johnny. Come live with us in the middle of the forest, over on the spring side. It's wonderful here.
What's he saying?
Jenna's just like, wow, I have my responsibilities and my duties, and I got Will to take care of. Hey, boss.
It's true. He does have to take care of me. It's quite a handful, unfortunately, and unfortunately, also need to take him away at the moment. I'm sorry, but his duties bring him elsewhere.
You hear her just kind of like and she'll kind of like dance lightly off the leaf and away. All right, we ready to go? I have my axe. I got we have our rations. We have everything we need.
That we do. We even have Bart.
Indeed.
Bart's like, yes. And a spider kind of comes down And this spider, Bart has fashioned a small kind of like saddle onto it, made a little bit of like moss, a little bit of like reeds and stuff. Seems like potentially he's maybe gotten some help in making this somehow. And he kind of like sits on the spider, gives it a pat, and then takes like from out of a pouch, he's got a big dead fly, and like hands down to the spider, and the spider like kind of like takes it, just like turns it and looks at it, and then like
Let's go.
All right.
And we set off towards the north. You guys start to make your way basically around Valeth first, because you were coming from the south, the southwest.
Yeah.
And so you start to make your way up towards the north, and as you go, immediately on the other side of Valeth, it's like a microclimate, right? There's different plants here, different kinds of life that took root from this bloom. And right away you can see that whatever organization and the magic that dryad had kind of talked about, that there's some fragment of something that was imparted by Valeth that gave it this organization. And immediately there's like pine trees over this way, and lichen, like smaller shrubs and things like that. You immediately see there's like some red berries in a bush. Malin immediately like kind of prances over to go pick some. And she, pops one into her mouth.
Okay,
She
who's doing
just
that,
makes a
me?
little face. She goes, "Here, try one."
I'll try one.
Yeah, you try one. It's bitter.
Okay.
I guess we found what we can boil water in. I'm just joking. Oh.
Yeah, you guys go take a look. I think there's like a small Fey person just like drop their pots and pans. You need a pot?
Okay. Yes, actually.
I'll trade it for those berries.
Oh, you'll
Deal.
trade it for the berries?
Yeah. Thanks.
We acquired the pot. Dun, dun,
The
dun,
pot's like
dun.
this big. It's like the size of
No.
I mean,
Um,
tea's tea. The spirits don't care the size of the tea, as long as we offer some tea, right?
you see him walking away, and he's like, "Whoa, I couldn't get any closer. The magical winds are so strong." He makes his way away. And yeah, I think as you guys make your way northward, this will be a good time for a break. So let's take a 5-minute break. We'll come back at 8:30.
Sounds good.
7-minute break, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
Right.